Top of the morning, evening, night, or day, ladies and gentlemen. This is me here today on behalf of Well Prepared Men. I hope everyone's well and good. Roll the intro!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain and the following video is for subscribed devices only.
In today's video, I'm going to give you my 1 month review on the Seiko SNXL72. Or like Nico Leonard would say, the Seiko SNXL72. Grab a pen and paper. It's spelled Seiko, like this, right? And my man says Seiko. I love it. I fucking love it. Anyway, guys, today we are reviewing the Seiko SNXL72. I've had this watch for way more than a month now. I figured I made a 1 month review on the G-Shock. I kinda owed it to all my other watches to make a 1 month review. I did it for the G-Shock. So, let's begin with a question. Has an elevator ever let you down? Some of you guys might be confused. Other you guys are probably like, yes, multiple times. Well, your experience wearing the Seiko SNXL72 will not be the same. At first, when I bought this watch, I was in love with it. But now, I love it even more. And I freaking love when that happens with any of my purchases. It only lets me know that I've made a good buy. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I actually have the box here. I keep it in its original box, but I actually have another watch here, which we've reviewed on the channel. Let me know in the comment section if you want a 1 month review on the Seiko 5. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna put this back in the watch box so nothing happens to you. So, I've actually had this watch for a little bit longer than a month, like I stated at the beginning of the video. And in my first video, when I first got the watch out of the box, I didn't really like the fact that we had a shiny case with a brushed bracelet. I felt like it would have been nicer if the metals matched. But after wearing this watch for a while, I actually really like the bracelet now. Besides being a really comfortable bracelet, I think the look is actually quite cool. It makes the watch look very vintage, and it's not a big watch. I can show it on my wrist so you guys can see what it looks like. It's not a big watch by any means, like I was saying, but it's got a lot of personality. And if you just have a pretty simple outfit on and you just put on this watch, you elevated your game by miles with something so simple. So I really like this watch, and overall I became a fan of the band as well. So, which is good because it make me like the watch even more than I did at the beginning. And when I make a purchase and I like something at the beginning, but I end up liking it more, it makes me feel really good because at the end of the day, I don't want to throw my money out on the street. So spending money on things that I enjoy and will keep enjoying for a number of years to come, for me, is essential, but it doesn't always happen with every purchase because some products I don't know and I'm trying for the first time. But this was one of those products that I really, really vibed with and enjoyed. Every single time I used, I felt like my love for the watch was increasing. I actually dropped it once and we can't really see any damn... Oh, we can. Fuck. Okay, so I actually dropped it once and I'm gonna show you. Here on the top, we actually have a kink, which is probably from that drop. But I learned my lesson, ladies and gentlemen. I took a watch box to work. Every time I take my watch off, I put it straight in the box. So I'm not giving myself any more room to fuck up. Essentially, I'm just keeping things as safe as possible when they're not on my wrist. And when they're on my wrist, I'm actually pretty mindful of the things that I'm doing while wearing the watch, which it kind of makes sense. It's one of my pricier pieces, and I've only just wore it in with this first kink over here on the bezel, but I still feel like I need to treat it respectfully and make it last as long as possible and admire it while wearing it instead of just wearing it out to bits, because it is a really nice watch. You can see the movement here in the back. It's gold, and I really like gold watches, not just because they suit the color of my skin, but even if they didn't suit the color of my skin, I feel like I would still like them because there's something that attracts me more to this color than silver. Here we are. We got a beautiful gold Seiko, which I've been enjoying for quite a while now, and overall I've got nothing but positive things to say about this watch. I love the fact that it's automatic. It moves in a way that none of the watches that I've owned up until I started getting into automatic watches move. And this for me is still really enticing to just look at. Even if I know the time, I just find myself watching the seconds hand move super smooth through the bezel, and it's just a beautiful thing to see. If we have any people in the audience who are considering this watch, I couldn't advise it more. I feel like it's been a great addition to my collection overall. And eventually I'll make a video about the state of my collection. I feel like that is overdue. And since my great alternative for the Tissot PRX video, I feel like a lot of people from my audience actually have interest in watches, so why not come up with a state of the collection video and actually share some of the cool pieces that I found over the years with you guys. I started collecting watches recently, however, I've been collecting watches for years, if that makes sense. So here's what I mean by this. I never saw myself as a watch collector up until this year. I've only saw myself as a collector recently because I've only started looking at the world in a different perspective. But I feel like I've been a collector for years. Basically, I haven't been collecting just watches. I've been collecting a little bit of everything from flashlights to trading cards. But I've always had a few watches ever since I got my first watch. And yeah, after that watch, I had another watch which I've worn for years throughout my teenage years. And then I had like 3 or 4 watches at some point and a pocket watch. So I've always been a little bit of a collector, but at that point I didn't know it, or at least I wasn't into it enough to call myself a collector. But when it comes to these things, I wouldn't say that I'm a collector. I'm more like a lover of beautiful things that make sense to me. And at this point in my life, watches make as much sense to me as bicycles did 6 months ago. So yeah, at the moment, I'm waiting to complete my bike collection with the Rally, which is a bicycle built in Nottingham, beautiful bicycle. And when it comes to my watches, I'm waiting to complete my watch collection with a Rado watch. And that's pretty much the state of both of these areas of my life. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this pretty much brings us to the very end of this video. I rambled on for a while. This watch set me off, but essentially I just want the best for the people in my audience. So thank you very much for sticking with me up until the end. I hope you have enjoyed this video, subscribed, and you continue to have the rest of an amazing day. This is your boy, logging out. Peace.